little muggy in here.
It's okay. Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't,
I see, that was a bit too cold.
we like it hot.
Okay.
Nice to read it.
No, I just put this on. I'm just saying, overall, it's wearing well.
That's what you say.
Leaving a good test on it.
I'll tell you what.
Okay. Whatever you say.
All right.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Michelle, 4 o'clock. Call to order. Any public comment? Ma'am, go ahead. You first.
I was impressed with the letter that went around in the point interface about the CPR class. It said all the things I've been wanting to say, and probably a lot of us have felt that way, having taken it twice. Very impressed with what we've learned, and I liked Rose's comment about encouraging more people on the point to have it. You know, with the delay time's only a few minutes, but it's sure nice to know what we can do. So I just want to thank you for that, and the trainers. I think we have the same trainers with our last class down with Christina, and just want to thank you for that and encourage more to take it.
Great.
Thank you, Julia, for your kind words. I read it myself, but I think it was very appropriate. And maybe a little overdue. Ricardo.
Thank you, Commissioner Merzing. Bring greetings from the folks in Maple Beach, and also a very grateful thank you to Chief Carlton for a couple of incidents that were cleared up very positively in Maple Beach in the last week. We're really very happy with the building of confidence that this fire department has shown in the last almost 2 years, and the training that the chief is providing the young fellows and gals, and the self-discipline that he himself displays goes a long way for those young folks, and in fact goes a long way for us and our confidence to know that how well we have it here on the point. Further, they would like to point out to mostly Commissioner Merzing and Commissioner Riffle that it's been almost 2 years now since they showed some bravery and courageousness of their own in what could only be classed as some very unpopular decisions. And they want it now to be known that those very unpopular decisions have now turned out to be very wise decisions. And they recognize the fact that you gentlemen have shown a sharp eye and a keen ear to very important aspects to the commissionership here, and we should sure appreciate it. And Suzanne and Michelle, I go with you two gals too. We sure appreciate everything that's been done here, and 93% of the tax base here in Point Roberts is from non-residents. So there's really an opportunity to be complacent in the services you provide, and that certainly is not what's happening here. We're very grateful for you, Chief and Commissioners. Encourage you to stay the course.
Thank you, Ricardo, and congratulations, his wife over there. Yeah, you two were the owners on the heroes today. You heard that a few times.
You guys are behind the curtains and do a lot, so.
Appreciate that. Any other comments from the public? No? Okay, we'll continue. Approval of the minutes of last month, May 14th meeting.
Well, I read those minutes and I find them in order. Make a motion for approval.
Well, standing here, I must be reading the same minutes. I second
Yeah, I said there's a second. Good.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
your,
Any further discussion? All in favor? Go ahead, pass. Suzanne Kinsey, go ahead.
Current month payables total $19,045.16, which includes a few items to point out. First of all, volunteer payouts that are included in the warrants total $3,726. This reflects May activity. My bill for May is $1,113, and it's so high because I completed the annual report, and it took me about 15 hours. And that's after I had training. So thank God I took training. There's a payable to Nielsen's for $1138.94, which is primarily the cost for the bunk beds. Shell Oil for $1379.02. Gear Grid for $1,989. U.S. Bancorp credit card for $2,090, and Annex Construction, I didn't put how much it was, for building the bunk beds, and I think it's $1,803. Just 1 second. Yeah, $1,803. Sorry about that. Payroll for June totals $12,605.67. This represents 1 month's salary for Chief Carlton for $41,66.67, one for Assistant Chief Shields in the amount of $2,583. There was 1 meeting for 3 commissioners, and the secretary had 1 meeting. Volunteer payouts for May totaled $5,544 in payroll. I have a request from the county to have a resolution passed to cancel warrants that are older than 1 year. And Michelle has done the resolution for you guys to deal with it. You'll notice today that you've got financial statements in your package. I did the financials today, but by the time I got them done and all sorted out, it was too late to email them to you. So I wanted you to have them today because I didn't know what the discussion might be this evening. So you'll find those there. We require motions to approve warrant request covering current month vouchers and current month payroll.
Thank you, Suzanne. I think that the resolution is in order because of a request from the county and about the
Yeah.
more than a year old.
Yeah. There's one to Can Do, and who knows where that went.
Yeah.
In the garbage. There was one to Delta Cablevision. I don't know what happened to it either. So, and then there was one for Wesley Seeger,
Yeah.
which he was a firefighter with us, and that was a payroll check when Whatcom County was doing the payroll. So he never cashed it, and, you know, he's long gone. So we're just, you know,
I work
absorbing
with
that
Bud, so I
back
had
in.
no idea. I wasn't able to contact him and talk to him,
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So I looked it up, the gross of it was $440, so. You know, if you talk to him, if you find him,
We
he
can
wants
reissue.
it, I'll put him in our current payroll.
Sure, I'll have a discussion with him.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Gentlemen,
Want to make a motion for it?
yeah, Jeff, go ahead, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve monthly payables in the amount of $19,045.16. I'll make another motion. Is that okay to go ahead and just vote once? Another motion for payroll to be approved in the amount of $12,605.67. I make a motion to approve the resolution to cancel the 3 warrants that we just discussed.
Yeah, you can do that too.
So that's 3 motions and need 1 vote, and I think we're all in accordance.
3 motions, 289 and water request, resolution.
This is a lot of work.
What?
This is a lot of work. I would like to call attention to the fact that the Board of Commissioners, working with their paid staff, and instituted the financial reporting on a monthly basis, showing the month-to-date along, making it more easy, make it easier to identify there we go, to identify. I second the motions to approve the
Payables, payroll, warrants.
so we move to the payroll,
Payables Payroll.
payroll,
and the warrant cancellation.
there we go,
The payables are the vouchers.
yes.
You want to second that motion?
You did.
He did.
Second, go ahead.
You did.
I didn't hear you.
I did second the motion.
All right, fine. And how about the warrant, the resolution?
Oh, that he did.
Is that too?
Yeah,
All
Yeah,
That's fine.
I made 3 motions and we're voting on 3 motions, and he did indeed.
You seconded all of Jeff, Commissioner
You
Romano.
stuck it all together, you made it easy. Okay. That means, is there any further discussion on that? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Now, since last month we talked about the budget update, that should be included in the financial report. Is there anything from my 2 fellow commissioners that they want to discuss about it? To great strides putting it on the agenda. Mr. Riffle?
No, I think,
Anything you want to add?
I think we're moving along, and the budget gets reviewed each month with what Suzanne provides us. So we know, monthly, and compared to the overall annual budget, it is an annual budget. And I think, we're on track. Everything doesn't happen month by month, but nevertheless, we know we're pretty well on track. We get a chance to review it thanks to Suzanne's report. That's all I have. I have nothing of concern at this time.
Jeff, do you have any concerns?
No, sir, I know only that we'll benefit from this new organization by becoming more conversant in budget on a more guideline basis.
Well, we've had the financial statements on a quite regular basis. This is not really anything new.
No.
now's the time, if you have any questions, to bring them up and put them on the table, and maybe we can discuss that. Do you have any concerns at this time? You're happy with what we do financially?
I'm very happy with this. In fact, as one of the few commissions and operations in the county, we have probably the most professional budgeting, reporting, and oversight that I've ever seen.
Good, okay.
With the permission of the commissioners, I'd like to include this in the publication online for the public who's not here as part of the meeting minutes, as well as everything else I put into it, which is the financial statement. This would be the balance sheet for each month from this point forwards, is what we plan on doing.
A balance sheet totals at the end of said month. Okay, so this balance sheet is as of May 31st. So
Correct.
that covers January through May 31st.
Okay. All right, so what's the plan for the months from this point? Are we going to have
Okay,
in
so
July?
why are you going to publish this?
Well, it's up to you guys. We don't need to. I mean, it can be
I
drawn
know,
up
but
from
you made a,
public
we have a
records.
routine.
Right. Absolutely. And that's why I'm asking. Is this something I need to add?
No.
Okay.
I
So-
don't
No.
know.
The
No, I
only
don't think
reason-
so. I think half year is sufficient.
No, see, we are, at this time, we must be the most transparent organization around here, wherever, I mean, many miles. How transparent do you want to be?
No, that's why I'm
I mean,
asking.
this is no record, this is hard.
Sure, this can be drawn up through public records request.
That's right.
Yeah,
No
and the
problem.
only reason you have a hard copy today is because it was too late for me to email.
Perfect. Okay. So I just
So
wanted to be
let's
clear.
not
No.
whatever.
Yeah, I want to make sure
Defer
that,
from
no,
our
that's
original plan.
perfectly fine. I want to let the public know that I publish quarterly financials.
Yeah,
And we do a mid-year meeting with the Taxpayers Association
yeah,
with the mid-year financials, where we're at mid-year.
yeah,
And then I also publish the year-end financials on our website.
yeah,
So anything else, I'm perfectly fine with that decision.
okay.
Just wanted to make sure so I didn't get it wrong.
Yeah, and I'm not going to email you these statements.
I
Okay,
prefer
so
that, just
you've
give
got-
us no, I prefer that, something else.
Is that, you want me to do this every
Yeah,
month?
For me, it's fine, if you have access to it. I also understand, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't have all the figures available because of
That's right,
delay from the county,
that's right,
and we should all understand that.
that's right. But in other words, if I have the financials done prior to the meeting, you want your hard copies at the meeting?
That'd
You
really be
like
nice.
that?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great.
I can do that.
Most of us, I realize the fire department has a tremendous printer. Individually, I don't know about Jeff, but I know that Bill and I have just home printers.
Yeah.
And, you know, they do take time to print them out.
Well, this is a great printer. It is slow. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that. But what I did is I printed out the statements, then I photocopied, really fast photocopying, so.
Let me add to that. Fadi, is there a way that we can connect this computer to the Rico?
Why?
So it prints out over there for you
I don't want
faster?
it to print out over there.
No. So you're okay with the slow speed snail?
Fondy and I'll have a discussion.
Okay.
Chief, they have a routine.
They have our slow routine, so I understand.
That's right. I'm probably in a lot of trouble right now.
Yep, Fadi Stern over
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
Okay, so that's behind us, the
Okay.
financials. All right, Chief, correspondence, do you have anything?
We have correspondence, one in, let me make sure. We have one in May, and it was a correspondence just concerning the quarterly financials I sent out on Point Interface and put on our website as well.
You really want to elaborate on that?
No?
Okay. Nothing pressing then? Nothing we need to discuss?
take long hours doing this report. Chief Officer's report for June 2014. So point of information, I participated in internal investigations and firefighter discipline 2-day conference down in Lakewood, Washington. And that conference was, there was about 50 fire chiefs from around the Puget Sound area. All the major fire departments were represented in the Seattle area, and we all came together to discuss discipline issues within our organizations and guidance on how to better those, and also internal investigations if we have something go wrong, and how those investigations should be set up, the process that should be taken, so we're following due process within. And it was quite interesting to hear the difficulties other organizations are having with career staff. And I was the only volunteer organization there representing. And so I was able to talk to a lot of chiefs, get some good insight, and listen to issues that we definitely do not have with the professional volunteers that are on this organization. So that was one of the conferences. I traveled to Portland for the cross-border conference. That's done every year. And that discusses any type of transit border issues we may have as emergency providers, getting across the border in a timely fashion with our patients, and vice versa, organizations coming through the border to help us out as well. So that would be Delta Fire coming over BC ambulance to our community. And that was a 3-day conference. I was only able to participate in 1 day, and that was the EMS portion. And the Department of Health was there, Michael Smith, and I was able to have just a few minutes with him, and then I've furthered that conversation since that conference. That evening I flew out to Denver, Colorado, and I think that was on the 11th. The 12th was the cross-border, and then the evening of the 12th, the last month I flew out to Denver, Colorado, and the rest of the week I participated in a ZOL conference in Denver, and that dealt with community paramedicine. Community paramedicine is a very big area of what we do in the emergency medical services side, and it's catching on very quickly. Paramedics and EMTs, you don't have to be a paramedic to be part of it, but EMTs as well are able to go out into the community and do home health visits. And they have medical oversight through usually a family practice type of physician. Medical oversight, they have contracts with different organizations. Contract, an example would be with a hospice of the county that you function in, that you would have a contract to be better contact or more fluent contact than a hospice nurse coming up every couple weeks to check on their patients. So this was a huge conference. Close to 1,000 people participated in this conference from all over the nation. And we actually had some people come in from Australia and New Zealand, that area as well. But in a sense, you learn about community paramedicine and how to set up such a program. So how does that benefit us here in Point Roberts? I've come back and I'm starting discussions with Natalia, our nurse practitioner, to see how this organization's medical providers, our EMTs, and the paramedics can possibly benefit this community, those who are unable to make it to doctor's appointments or have ailments that don't allow them to get out very often, to try to get to their homes if they so want, and do checkups on them, do blood pressures, have a way to follow through with interfaith. But this discussion will take further, and interfaith will have to be on board as well. A contract will have to be put in place. Our medical oversight will also have to sign off on such a program. So it's not going to happen within the next few months. This could take 6 months to a year to formulate and to get everything in process if we're even able to do it. But it's something that I think we do have people here on the point that could benefit from us, that the on-duty EMT could travel to locations, addresses, and check in on people and make sure they're doing okay. Again, we're not going to become a house cleaning service, but we might be able to go to the pharmacy, get their medications, or bring their medications to them, and all of this would be overseen through a physician medical oversight and through Natalie as the nurse practitioner. So it would have to be signed off by everybody. But the places, I think it was Nova Scotia, is the longest standing community paramedicine program in the world at this point. And they've been doing it for, I think, if I remember correctly, at least a few decades. 20 years, just because they're so spread out. And the doctor's not able to get to everybody, so paramedics go out and they basically function for that physician and then bring back labs. We could draw labs on people, bring that to the clinic, then the lab tests could be done. So there's a lot of avenues that we could benefit this community in, and if we're able to put it in place. But we have to have the major players, the physicians, and the oversight on board, and then interfaith as well to do such. So that's pretty much sums up my conferences. Apparatus, I do need to add in, which I forgot, was engine 5802. Nothing to report on any of the apparatus except engine 5802, and we had a backing incident. The smoothbore, which is our deck gun, was not fully down in a locked position, and it caught. We only are dealing with about 5-6 inches worth of leeway when we back our apparatus in, because the apparatus has grown over the years, and most fire departments have 15-foot doors, so you never have an issue with something being left up. But here we're dealing with around 5-6 inches of space between the top of the apparatus and the top of the apparatus door, and it was just left up just far enough to where it caught it, and we damaged one of our deck guns. So it's covered by insurance. And it'll be replaced, which it's already on order, but just to let you know that did occur. And it did put the engine out of service. Everything else works. It's just the master string that's down right now. And we should have that sometime soon. So everything else is okay. Member roster, we have 42 members, 29 Canadian, 7 Point Roberts, and 6 County. We have 3 paramedics on staff. We have 13 EMTs, including 2 advanced EMTs. I would like to say that 8 of the 9, the 9th is just delayed for personal reasons at this point. He plans on finishing up in July, and he's an advanced EMT student as well. But the 8 others went over to Idaho. This organization, we rented 2 vans. They traveled to Idaho to take their National Registry checkoffs, which was from the online school that we have participated in twice now. Again, this was the school that we participated in that when we went to Shaw. It was the Idaho school that was providing that education. So we haven't changed anything. It's just that I offered to us to go over there to take the National Registry testing this time to decrease the cost to this organization overall. So 8 people traveled over to Idaho, and I would like to say Fadi was one of those. And he's one of our advanced EMT students at this point, and all 8 successfully passed the National Registry psychomotor exam. And now they get to take the National Registry written. And I believe most of them will have that completed by the end of June. One person, Leslie Duke, has to take it in July just because of her work schedule. So the applications are being signed right now by our medical program director, Marvin Wayne, and those will be sent down to the state for their applications to be accepted and then to be certified at the levels, EMT and advanced EMT, that they're going through at this point. So we're moving forward. Everybody's successful. Another EMT is Christy Steinberger here on the point. She's an LPN here at the clinic, and she was one of those EMTs that successfully passed her psychomotor exam. So I'm very proud of all of them. Now it's just, we got to get through the written, and the written is one of the toughest writtens out there. Around 70% fail the written on the first try, and that's a national statistic. That's just not within our group. So volunteer hours total 2,564. If we paid everybody volunteer payroll, it would be $10,440. Combined chief hours, I worked 125, and there's 2 notes to that. Just remember, my hours are a little short just because I went to a 1-week conference in Colorado and then a 2-day conference in Washington. Assistant Chief Shields are 160.5 hours. Total chief hours for the month is 285.5. We had 19 calls in the month of May. We were pretty busy that month. We had 7 EMS calls. We had 1 airlift request. We had 5 no transports, and we had 1 transfer to Whatcom Medic 1. We had 2 public service requests. We had 9 fire classifications. We had 6 unauthorized burns. We had 1 power lines down. We had 1 kitchen fire, and we had 1 false alarm. One other was an incorrect dispatch. They actually toned us out, and it was actually for engine 1 down in Bellingham. So we were put back in service. It was a little mistake by our prospect. That concludes my chief's report. Thank you.
Unfinished business.
I'll just bring up for unfinished business that I have invoice vouchers to be signed by Commissioner Mersing and by Michelle Stars. These invoice vouchers are for the Board of Volunteer Firefighters and for all the physicals and work that we get done over the clinic. The Board of Volunteer Firefighters will reimburse us up to $100 per physical, and the amount that I have here totals around $4,800 of reimbursement for wellness purposes. My goal, when we get that reimbursement, if they reimburse to the amount I'm assuming, is to put that into our wellness program here and get a treadmill here for our firefighters to use, or a stair climber of some sort for cardiovascular fitness. So that's it, and Michelle just needs to sign.
Thank you. New business?
Chief, I've got one last question.
Could you speak up a little bit?
I'm sorry. In your business, I'd like to acknowledge and laud the chief for his initiative and his travel outside the state and taking time. I would also like to ask a question, which is when you report the calls per month,
Yes.
are they being tracked by month or by the total that month?
So they're total. So the 19 would be the total amount of calls we had for the month of May. And then April had a total. So I can do it, I can tell you how many calls we've had up to this point in the whole year, if you'd like to know that.
So
It's per month of what I report.
That trending information is available.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I'll let you know that our response time right now is just under 7 minutes once we're dispatched. And that's incredible for a volunteer organization.
The only way we can improve that is perhaps make the point smaller.
Yeah, confine people to the fire station. Then we'll have, our response time will be 1 minute. Yeah, but we're doing a great job. And I can pull up from years past as well. So I can do any type of, pretty much a report that doesn't violate HIPAA, that doesn't give off HIPAA information, but yeah, I can pull up any type of runs. The Wednesday seems to be our busiest days. When I trended that for the last 2 years, Wednesday was actually our highest day for medical calls. So, and Sundays is another very busy day as well. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Anything else, Jeff?
No, sir.
No. Stanley? Anything for you?
No new business. I think it's admirable that you spend all these hours going to these conferences. I should think personally that they should be included in your volunteer time. But you haven't included them, and I'd like to point that out. That's very generous.
Yeah, I don't, the only time that Assistant Chief Shields and myself include are the time that we actually spend in uniform on the point. I don't include the hours that I spend down at Chiefs meetings in the county to the hourly months. This is the time that I spent here, Chief Shields spends here, actually in the office, in the vehicle, in uniform, doing work for this organization. So if I added in the hours that I spend at Chiefs meetings or anything like that, we'd be well in the 250, 300 hours a month in regards to what I do down south that is affiliated with this organization too.
Well, I admire it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't include the time I sleep here. So when I'm done in the office, when I'm done doing work, that's when my time for the day stops. And I don't include any times that I get up at night or anything like that as well. So this is daytime hours that we include.
Okay. I have one item on the business that I need to convey to my fellow commissioners. It's time again for the yearly performance review of our chief officer. The period of time is mid-year last year to mid-year this year. With your permission, I would take on that challenge myself again like I did last year. But it will also change that I will, how to say, when I do the evaluation, the report, I will immediately after that transmit to both of you And then my plan would be to bring it up at the next meeting as an agenda point, be the July meeting. We can then discuss it in a formal manner in an executive session.
I was gonna say, it should be an executive session. Proper.
So I could do, Mr. Gold.
No, I would let the opportunity to double check what is permitted and what is not permitted by the open door policy,
Open door, what do you mean by that?
Executive sessions.
executive session.
Closed door, private. Yeah.
The other thought I had.
Do you have, I believe you have a copy of that white book, don't you?
Yes,
And I find that it's all there.
yes, I've referred to it many times, but
Good.
it's too heavy to.
Well, on a quiet night at home, open it up and read about it. It's all covered in there. Anything pertaining to personnel, we have to go to executive session. So we'll do that. But please feel free to add or delete anything you'd like. And we'll discuss it at that particular meeting. Anything else, gentlemen? Any comments on that?
Well, no, how you handled it last year seemed to go very well.
Yeah, okay. I'll help you in my timetable for me. You just need to have it done. Okay, folks, anything else on the new business?
I guess I'll say the open house is coming up August 23rd. So for the community, and if you haven't been on our website lately, please get on our website. We have a lot of available safety information, meeting minutes, videos are always published on our website as well. And there's a little delay because we have to change over the format. So within hopefully 4 or 5 days, those videos of this meeting and all the other meetings are published. So those who can't partake are able to watch it at their convenience from another computer. And if computers don't work, they're welcome to set a time with me or Assistant Chief Shields, and we'll open up the training room. We'll bring down the 110-inch screen so you don't need to wear glasses, and we'll put it on speaker, and you guys can watch it here for anybody that does not have a computer or access to the library. Okay?
Good, thank you. Well, one more session of public comment. Mr. Gov, you were that you're here at the opening session. Do you have any public comments?
No.
Anything you'd like to ask us?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Nothing?
No.
At this time, you're a happy person too.
Happy as all can
There
be.
you go. Very well. Can I have a motion to adjourn, gentlemen?
I would so move to adjourn.
I second it.
Motion passed.
Thanks everyone for being here.